You know, things are beginning to look up. This exposure of what Hollywood's been doing, and I think about how they laughed me to scorn when I told them 25 years ago, maybe 30, what Hollywood was doing to our children and our culture in this nation. It tell me, lady, you are insane. You are crazy because the duping of the American people ran so deep. The distraction of pleasure was so wicked and so evil, and the depth of it. I mean, yesterday I got so sick because there was some kind of news program on, and this poor little black girl, about 12 or 13 years old, and I heard that the person that had her sodomized her and killed her, it made me sick with grief. And I thought to myself, how could any human being do that to another little baby? That's a baby. What's the matter with these driven? They're not animals, they're monsters. An animal treats the young better than what these people do. And I am so encouraged because all of those years of labor in prayer for these things, I can see God is beginning to bring it all out into the open. I can see many of my prayers being answered. I'm saying to you, get ready, folks, and I've said it before. Get ready. Get yourself so completely cleaned out. Get yourself so completely cleaned out of self that you may be used by God. Because you see, children, they can't be fooled. You say, well, the pedophiles fool. Yeah, to a point. But I'm telling you, once that child has been hurt, you won't be able to fool them that you love them if you don't. And if you don't have the love of God inside of you, you are not going to be able to reach them. And believe you me, the fact that we cannot reach the little ones, we become answerable to God, that our minds and our hearts are not in a place that we can reach a little one through love and help pull them out of everything. Have the right answers for them, the right understanding. That takes time with God. That doesn't take time in studying this psychology. It takes time with God, that when you come into their presence, the Lord can bring the answers to you, no matter how bad the situation, no matter how rotten the things were. God can bring everything. Like I told you before, that one elderly woman, she had her shingle out as a Christian psychologist for 50 years, I think. And she said that she paid a lot of money to become a Christian psychologist. And she said, and she walked into just one of my prayer meetings, and she said it hit her hard like a ton of bricks that God just handed it all to me, that I understood it completely. And I am telling you, God will do the same thing for you. The wisdom of God, and you can see it's real, it's true, and it is what you need. And you can't get that wisdom by faking. You can't get that wisdom by playing. You can't get that wisdom and that understanding by anything. And God puts you into a position where you can help someone, save someone out of the worst atrocities that you could imagine. Some of you have never even suffered a little bit. And many of you think I suffered much, but I am telling you, the Lord told me that there are people on this earth that suffered things that are so much worse than anything that I could have ever suffered. and that everything within me was geared so that I could be there and ready to help someone else. And that's what we're for. That's what we've been created for. That's why God brought us into this world. That's why He worked so hard to get us to the place of understanding. Don't you realize? Oh my goodness. My goodness. Thank God for the heroes of our time. Thank God for those that are willing to stand up and fight. I just saw a beautiful young black lady that she refused to be a member of a certain party anymore because of what they wanted to do with children. Her race, they didn't want to teach them how to read. I told you people about how 25 years ago, how they've come in to Ohio and wanted to stop all teaching of reading and writing, and they wanted to start teaching social issues, and they wanted to start busing the children in to school all week and only go home on weekends. Why would anybody want to have access to your child all week? Believe you me, and then take reading and writing and arithmetic off of them, getting the basics of life that they're going to need, getting the things, if a child cannot read a stop sign, they can't be warned that they should stop. If they can't read, you can tell them anything, you can lie to them anything, and they'll listen to you because you're an adult and they trust adults. And it's not because the pedophile has such a personality. Those pedophiles take advantage when you are not where you need to be as a parent for your children, when you're not paying attention to what they think and feel. And you need to know how they think and feel. You need to sit down and talk with them. You need, like I told that one mother, she needs to make a mommy time. If you start with them the time that they are little, you would be shocked at how many children love. They love to be corrected. They love to know someone loves them enough and cares for what they do and what they think. But it's not just the correction part of it, it's the love part of it. You can correct a child till doomsday and be nothing else but a corrector, and then with no showing of any love whatsoever. And all you'll do is produce a child of rebellion, because those children, they feel things. They're little human beings. They're not idiots. They're not stupid. They are little human beings that need to be nurtured, need to be above all loved. You know, if you only understood how God made man and how He made the little ones. We are little ones to God, and we can understand our relationship with God, our need for love. Why? Why do so many parents claim to be Christian and have no understanding for what their child needs? They're so interested in only themselves that they have no understanding or no care for what that child needs. They feel that they're doing God a service when they go to church and work real hard to be seen, to be heard, to be believed. And they shun their children and they put them on the back burner. And that is a sorrow. That is a sorrow, a deep sorrow in the sight of God. Children need and I don't mean spoil them, give them everything they want. I mean treat them like a little human being with respect. Teach them how to respect their own space. Don't let anybody come in to your space and force themselves on you, grab a hold of you and do whatever they want to. They need to be taught that. They need to be taught not to go into someone else's space. Forgive them for their trespasses. Forgive us for our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. When somebody trespasses against you, they are trespassing against your life. against your space, against what you think and what you feel before God, what you have in here before God. They are forcing you to submit to what they think and what they believe. That is trespassing on a property that is not theirs. God calls that what he sows his word into good ground. That should give you a big clue what your heart is. Your heart is considered to be good ground. And when somebody comes and trespasses on that heart and says, I know she's this way, and I know he did that for that, and I know, and I even take the word, and the word says this, and the word, you are trespassing on a life that does not belong to you. No, you know nothing. The only person you should know that well is you. The only person you should be well aware of and understand is your own mind, your own feelings, your own thoughts, your own heart. But you don't do that. You grasp hold of that Bible and you take it out there and you wave it and you tell them, and even to the point of telling people that the Bible says this kind of person must die. And the Bible does not say that. The Bible does not, and they'll even say kill them because they must know. The Bible does not teach that. It does not say that. The Bible teaches me, and I know if it teaches me that, it's teaching you that. It's just that you don't listen. The Bible teaches that as long as there is breath coming out of the mouth of a human being, as long as they can breathe, there is a hope and a chance for life in Jesus. So if you kill them before their time, you're going to stand before God for what you do. If you willfully and destroy them before they find out the truth, because many people have no idea. That's why Jesus Christ made forgiveness to say, Lord, forgive them. They know not what they do. I don't care what your eyes see. I don't care what your ears hear. Right now, I'm in a situation where I must forgive certain people. My flesh would love to not, but my body and my mind and my spirit is so strong in the Lord that I know better. I won't touch them with a 10-foot pole. The thing we need to understand is correction of other people is not in our hands. It's in God's hands. There are times where God will lead you to stand up and tell the truth because they need it. Because if you don't tell them the truth, just like me, if I don't tell the truth, I'm answerable for it. But there are other times where you have no business putting your mouth on somebody else that has no idea. People don't know what you know. They don't hear what you know. You should have compassion on them and pray for them that God open up their understanding and help them to find the way instead of sitting down so high that you know everything and they're going to pay. Something is wrong with your thinking. A child, a little child, needs people desperately to help show them the way. And they'll never listen to you. They'll rebel against you when you're filled with nothing else but self, because they'll feel it. They're not little ignorant robots that know nothing. They are little human beings. And one day when they grow up and they look at you, some of them, I've seen them. I even warned a father. I've said that child is going to hate you. When that child grows up, that child's going to look at what you did that you think is well hidden, but they're going to hate you and you're going to cry. And I saw the day that happened. I saw when that child hated them and they cried. And I had to be the one to lead that child not to hate anybody, to lead that child, especially not their own parent. Because that is one thing that you must understand. If you are in a relationship where one of you is doing wrong, don't feed that child with it. Don't find comfort in telling that child all about it. Leave that child alone. If that child loves their parent, leave it alone. For the Bible says that they are to honor their father and their mother. It didn't say honor one of them, it said both of them. And it's when you honor somebody, that means you respect them. And that Bible did not specify they had to be right. If they are wrong and you know they're wrong, you still honor them. You still respect them. You still listen to them unless they tell you to do evil, unless they tell you to do sin. Well, it's the same thing. Honor does not mean that you let them have their way. You let them. It means that you respect them enough to listen to them. And so therefore, children need that they need that discipline and that love. Where else are they going to find it? A child that has no discipline whatsoever and learns to be spoiled, that child will grow up and he'll go into life and he'll have no respect for nothing because you didn't teach it to him. You didn't take the time to show them the way.